Hi guys, welcome back to the James Bond Show with Krazy Kajeevie. Well, it has been a long time, but I'm back with no fears, limits, or substitutes, the bad boy of James Bond. It's been over a year since I have appeared on video on this channel. Within that year, my best friend in the James Bond community passed away, was found dead in his apartment, and it had a profound effect on me. It's been over a year and it's still very hard to talk about. Many of you would probably know that my best friend within the James Bond community, I would say I probably have 3 or 4 really good friends in the Bond community, 2 who are currently co-admins at James Bond Fans with Love on Facebook. And my dear friend was Matthew Muckle. And tragically, Matt was found passed away. And authorities believe the passing was on the 7th of October. I was told on the 11th of October that he was dead. So it's been a hard pill to swallow. It's been very tough. And the result of it really was I couldn't even go into my James Bond rooms. James Bond just was nothing to me anymore, because every time while Matt was alive and our friendship blossomed and became like brothers from another mother, even though he lived in the UK and I live in Australia, we were inseparable. And every time I was in my James Bond rooms while he was alive, I was always thinking about Matt. Video chats, showing him the Bond stuff, he and I talking over video, sending him photos, and him loving the collector pieces I had. So those rooms really were a bond between he and I. So after his passing, I just literally just lost the passion for James Bond, and I couldn't go into those rooms. It was too sad. So it was heartbreaking, and obviously heartbreaking for his family, particularly his elderly mother, who loved him to bits. Matt was a very fun guy. He was so fun. He was quick-witted. He was cheeky. He was clever. He was loyal. He was just a great guy. He was a great guy. He had his faults like all of us. He was a sinner. He was human. And unfortunately, like James Bond, Matt liked to delve into drinking a bit too much and not taking his health seriously. And I did try to warn him over years, literally years. And I said, Matt, you need to change the way you're living, your health. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on anything else related to his passing, but he listened to me in parts, and then he didn't. And then we had a fallout over what I still don't know. And then I'd touch base with him, and then he would get back, but he was never the same. And then I contacted him again, just fearing how he was. I didn't hear from him. And then the next thing I hear is he's gone. So I never got to say goodbye to him. So yeah, would I change things and how things kind of ended? Absolutely. But that's irrelevant to me. He was still someone that I loved dearly, like a brother, and I can't watch James Bond films, especially certain Bond films he loved, or Bond films he didn't like so much. And we agreed on every film. In fact, his top 3 favourite films were my top 3 favourite films. Kind of with a slight order difference, but the Bond films he did not like, I did not like. With non-Bond films, he loves Schindler's List, and it's a film I can't watch. I've watched it. I don't really want to watch it again. He couldn't understand that, just because I find Schindler's List incredibly, obviously disturbing and upsetting, so it's just not one that I can see it and recognise it for the brilliant piece of cinema it is, but it's not one that, I want to keep watching, where Matt loved it. But we had a love for Superman. We love Superman films. The 2 original Christopher Reeve films, we loved those. And Indiana Jones, we loved. Star Wars, we loved. And just politically, we were so aligned. We had such agreement on everything politically. And he was just, he was one of a kind. And I'm going to miss him for a long time. And then, November, December. So then 4 months later, on February 6th, things couldn't get any worse. I think it was around January 20th, I came home from work, and Scooby, my co-host here at the show, 00 Scooby, was not himself. Long story short, I monitored him overnight, took him to emergency the next day. They said, go and get yourself a coffee, we'll do some tests on him for an hour, come back in an hour, etc. I came back, and Dr. Vanessa, his regular vet, told me to sit down and said that Scooby was dying. It just shocked me. So she said basically he had severe kidney damage. I still don't know what caused it. I've blamed myself for certain things, maybe. And then on February 6th, I did everything, including so much money and finances into trying to keep him alive. And then, horribly, he died in my arms on February 6th. I had him cremated. So I have him in my living room. But as anyone knows, probably, 3 loves in my life was my friendship with Matt, Scooby, 00 Scooby, and James Bond. So, in a way, those 3 things were taken from me very quickly. I don't know if I'll ever get over it, but, it's life, and life can be tough sometimes. It can be great, and it can be tough. Sorry, I'm a bit of a mess. I never planned to make a video like this, and that's the reason I haven't been here for over a year. I just felt if I did get back on camera and I talked about this, I'd be a mess, and I knew that I could never not talk about it when I finally did come back, or it wouldn't be me, it wouldn't be real. And as all you know, the James Bond show, because of my nature, is very real and raw. So I'm starting on a good point. I'm starting to find my love of James Bond again. I shifted the James Bond rooms. I've been in and out them. I've been doing so much work in my home. I've got a new job as well in the last 7 months. I work for a big cinema company, which I absolutely love doing. And I'm about to start on the 26th, on Boxing Day, a massive health quest and challenge, doing a 14-day cleanse, which is 2 days of water drinks with mud, bentonite clay, which is mud, and organic psyllium husk. And then that's first 2 days, then a saltwater flush on the 3rd day. It's tough stuff. I don't even know if James Bond could do this. And then day 3 to day 12 is 10 days of raw organic pulse, and then day pulse, which is actually from the book of Daniel, raw organic whole foods, seeds, nuts, all that sort of stuff. It's incredible, tastes amazing, different flavors as well. And then day 13 and 14, I'd go back to the water drinks. And then after that, I'm literally just going to be on 30 days of water, lemon water, 2 eggs a day, and green juice. So I'm going to transform pretty quickly. I'm going to lose a lot of weight, and I'm going to be hitting the gym in the time of that. I had a terrible shoulder injury, and that's pretty much... I'm banged up like James Bond. I feel banged up like James Bond in Spectre when he fights Mr. Hinks. So, yeah, so life's coming back a bit. There's peaks and troughs in life, guys. It's not perfect, as I'm sure you all know. On March 19th, 2 beautiful little puppies came into my life. Little brothers, and I named them Bear and Bo. Bear's the big one, and Bo's the little one. And they are the love of my life. I've still got Smoochie. She's about 12 years old now, who was Scooby's best friend. So she's going good, and she's very happy, and she loves the new puppies. But overall, guys, yeah, I'm getting my love for James Bond back. But now to talk about Bond, to focus on James Bond more. What is happening with James Bond? I don't have any answers. I could do a whole bunch of videos, I guess, and maybe I will, on what direction I think James Bond could go. But very quickly, I think they are going to come out with a black James Bond. Again, there's no racist bone in my body. It's just that's not the character of James Bond, of Ian Fleming's James Bond. Because one of my favourite actors on the planet today is Daniel Kaluuya, who I think is incredible. And there's, they asked him in an interview, would you be interested in playing James Bond? And he said no. He said, I'm not James Bond. Even he agrees James Bond should be played by a white guy. I think Daniel Kaluuya would be great in a Bond film as a villain or, another agent or something. Because he's just you can just watch that guy on screen. He's so great. I'd love to see Denzel Washington in a Bond film as a CIA agent. Why not? I reckon that would be fantastic. Bring real gravitas to the screen to a James Bond film. But Bond is white. It's just a fact. Bond is white. To race swap Bond would be very dangerous, but I think that's what's going to happen. I don't trust, as you all know, I don't trust the direction of Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson. I think they've lost their way. I still do like No Time to Die. I gave it an incredible review when it came out, despite the wokeness in it. I still enjoyed it. Daniel Craig, James Bond, dying off, didn't have a problem with it because that was his arc. And I can't believe there's actually James Bond fans out there that think, oh, they killed Bond off. How are they going to bring Bond back? Yeah, really easily. All they need to do is start from the end of 2002. Basically just say, obviously it would be in present day, but a few lines, a few references to previous films from 62 to 2002 and go back to that time period. Simple. Or create a new time period and just at the end of that actor's films, just keep going like they did from 62 to 2002. Really simple. It's not rocket science. Daniel Craig's thing was an enclosed era of Bond. Gone. So I didn't really have a problem with him, with his James Bond dying. I found that film just stunning to look at. I loved the score. I loved the sound design. Hans Zimmer's score was incredible. And I was so entertained by it all. I really enjoyed the film. And I always got emotional. I always get emotional when I watch it at that end scene. So, yeah, I know. I'm the guy that, most people think would not have liked it, but I liked it. Couldn't stand Nomi in it. Her character was fell flat. It was a Barbara Broccoli vanity piece there. But, you can ignore her character for most part. But anyway, so I would love to see Aidan Turner as Bond. I still would love to see Aidan Turner. I probably don't think it will be Aidan Turner. I think it will be someone younger. The people that it will never be, the actors that it will never be Idris Elba. It will never be Tom Hiddleston. It will never be Tom Hardy. It will never be Tom Holland, the little Spider-Man dude. Everyone else that you hear about in the media, it won't be. I think potentially Henry Cavill, yeah, I think No, I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I know a lot of people will be sad by that, but yeah. Would I be upset if he was cast as Bond? No, absolutely not. I'd happily go watch his James Bond. Do I think he's 100% right for it? Probably a bit too big, bit bulky, but anyway, I would prefer Aidan Turner to be James Bond. But I think it's probably going to be an actor that we don't know a lot about. I just hope Barbara Broccoli doesn't try to go for that same kind of little skinny blonde Daniel Craig type. I want to see a more Timothy Dalton type, even a Connery type. That's what I'd love to see. Someone who's just got, an actor with balls, with gravitas, who can really take on the Ian Fleming James Bond. And I'd love to see the James Bond franchise go back to that kind of 80s period. I think the 80s had a really good balance. Yes, there was some goofy humour here and there. For the most part, though, the 80s James Bond was played very seriously, especially in most of For Your Eyes Only. A lot of A View to a Kill as well. A lot of Octopussy, despite the little jokes. And definitely, obviously, in The Living Daylights and Licence to Kill. That's the kind of James Bond I hope they go back to. And they don't need to reinvent the wheel. So why they're taking so long... And that's just the puppies playing in the background, if you can hear that, guys. So why they're taking so long and talking about, we've got to reinvent this. Bullshit. They don't need to invent anything. They just need to go back to Fleming, hire a writer, say you got 3 months to bang out a script, first draft, you got 5 months to get us third, fourth draft, boom, let's go. Let's film it. Let's do it. It's really, really simple. If Richard Maybaum can do what he did writing the scripts he did within such a short time period, within that 4-year period from Dr. No, From Russia, Love, Goldfinger and Thunderball, and two old guys can produce those films within a year each, incredible. So Barbara Broccoli has no excuse. But again, and I have been brave to speak out against this, women within the film world and the producing world, there are incredibly talented female directors. So that's not what I'm saying. But how many brilliant head film producers are there? And is their work rate up to where a man's is? It's not. She's proving me right. I would love for Barbara Broccoli to prove me wrong and bang out a Bond film every year, bang out a Bond film every 2 years. What's this 5-6 year gap? I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. No Time Did I Finish filming at the end of 2019. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And we're going into 25. 6 years. 6 years. And COVID's no excuse. Screen films, Marvel films were being filmed during Screen. We've had basically entire trilogies. Like, we've got a trilogy of Sonic. I think those films are all, 3 of them. The third one's just about to come out. Rave reviews as well. I'm seeing an advanced screening tomorrow. So what's the excuse? The excuse is she doesn't care. And then you've got her soy milk drinking nephews, Michael G. Wilson kids, bunch of better male cucks. These people they're just so lost the plot with James Bond. I just wish the James Bond rights were sold to a couple of male producers that just wanted to bang out Bond films. So... do I think I really liked Ray Fiennes as M? But do I think he's M? Do I think Ben Whishaw? Do I think Naomi Harris? Do I think they should come back as Q and Moneypenny respectively? And of course Ray Fiennes as M. Do I think they should come back into a new franchise if they're going to reboot? Well, they have to reboot because Daniel Craig's Bond is dead. So no, I don't. I think they've got to cut their losses there. I think it would be I think it would just be immature, and that's what worries me about Barbara Broccoli. In interviews, I just find her very immature, almost like this. I think she's been this protected little girl that hasn't had to do much her life, apart from live off daddy's riches and what her dad built up. So, I have no faith in that woman. I'm sorry, I'd love to. I don't. I think in her time from GoldenEye to now, I think she's probably made 2 really good films, maybe 3 really good Bond films, maybe 4. Definitely GoldenEye, love it. I love Tomorrow Never Dies. Casino Royale, absolute banger. And I would say, for me, I love No Time to Die. I think Skyfall is absolute crap. I do not understand how real Bond fans think that that's the #1 film just because it looks pretty. In a lot of parts, it actually looks dull, boring, and ugly. And from the start, opening pre-title sequence of Skyfall, after that, there is no big action set piece except for the Home Alone ending at the end. Between that, there is not one large action set piece. Not one. You can't say the courtroom is a big set piece. It's not. You can't say where he's fighting a bunch of dragon lizards is a big set piece. It's not. You can't say the train sequence, which is so convoluted and rubbish, is a big action set piece. It's not. So that film is devoid of action. Bond is a background character in his own film. And Silver is risking his life and his operation, and his men are risking their lives and operation because this guy's got mummy issues. Oh, get the out of here. That film is crap. And then Quantum of Solace. You take Bond and M out, you don't even... Just chuck Matt Damon in there. Matt Damon. Chuck him in there as Jason Bourne. You would not recognise that as a Bond film if you took those two actors out. So it was complete crap. And everyone shits on Spectre. My love for Spectre has dwindled a bit. I don't rate it as highly now. But at least Spectre is trying to be a James Bond film with the James Bond tropes, money, penny, gadgets, the whole lot, Q, so I at least respect Spectre. Is it lazy in parts with its script? Is the ending, the third act, is the third act pretty crap? Yeah, but I still respect it for trying to be a James Bond film. With Skyfall and Quantum of Solace, they're not James Bond films. They're just not. So anyway, guys, I'm not sure where else they're going to take James Bond. Will we hear an announcement? Maybe on James Bond Day at the end of 2025, maybe. My prediction was we were going to get a Bond film by, I think I said 2024 or 2025. Hasn't happened. So I was way off on that. Yeah, but let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Who do you think they're going to cast as Bond? What do you think's going to happen? Barbara Broccoli recently said, again, now a while back she said, well, Bond could be any colour or whatever as long as he's British. She's reiterated that really recently. So that really worries me. I don't think the rumours about Samuel, what's his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson. I don't think he's going to be Bond. I don't think Craven the Hunter that's come out recently has helped his case at all. I just don't like him for Bond. I don't want to see his 56-year-old wife rock up. I mean, he was 18 and she was like 44 or something when they hooked up. She's just weird looking. She looks like a little weird, mincy groomer old cougar, and I don't want to see her rocking up at James Bond premieres. I don't want to see her direct a Bond film, and I don't want to see him as James Bond. Also, the big thing a lot of people talk about is Christopher Nolan. I do not want to see Christopher Nolan direct a James Bond film at all. I do think there is a perfect director. I'm going to make a separate video on it, so watch out. I will make this video very soon on a director that he's not a big name, but he can handle direction and action. I'll give you a clue. He did direct a action film with Idris Elba, and he's incredibly capable at action. He also directed a film recently that was on at the cinema that got rave reviews. Now, this guy can direct action, and he can direct character performances, and he writes as well. He's a writer and director, and he's a great guy. When you listen to him in interviews, he's a great guy, and he's a young guy. I think he would be fantastic as a Bond director who's not going to go in like a Sam Mendes or these auteur directors and do this wanky crap. I think he could just go in and do a balls-to-wall Bond film, shoot off the script, nothing super fancy, and create a great James Bond film. And I think he'd be really great at directing someone like Aidan Turner as James Bond. Christopher Nolan is just... You listen to him talk... He's got the stuffy suit on. He's just stuffy. If he was directing a Bond film in the 60s, fine. But current day, present Bond, fast action pace, and I think a Bond film for 120 minutes under, which is all I really want. I think most of you want. Christopher Nolan is not the right guy. If they said, look, we'll give you 3 Bond novels, write and direct those as a separate entity, separate thing, sure, I'd watch it. I'd love to see Tarantino do his version of Casino Royale. In fact, I would love to see Tarantino do Live and Let Die from the novel. But again, Barbara Broccoli, being this stuffy nose she is, she'll never let Tarantino do that. Imagine if Quentin Tarantino's last ever film was an R-rated James Bond film, Live and Let Die, based off the novel, set in the 70s. That would be the shit. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. But we won't. So the director I'm thinking of, I think he'd be a good choice, and just keep on. Go with the kiss rule. Keep it simple, stupid, and just bring us back that 80s style James Bond. Guys, that's all I've got for now. Thank you so much for joining me here. Sorry it's been such a long time. Excuse the emotion before, but I am human at the end of the day, as we all are, and I appreciate you guys and your support, and for those that stuck around at the channel, thank you very much. And until next time, keep on bonding and say hi to your mum for me.
We have all the time in the world. Time enough for life to unfold all the precious things love has in store. We have all the love in the world. If that's all we have, you will find we need nothing more. Every step of the way will find us with the cares of the world far behind us. We have all the time in the world just for love, nothing more, nothing less, only love.